Prairie du Chien holds some rich American history out on the banks of the Mississippi River. News 19's W.H.S traveled to the Villa Louis to see how the Wisconsin Historical Society is bringing events that happened over 200 years ago back to life.
On Saturday afternoon, the Wisconsin Historical Society takes visitors back in time to the War of 1812 for a reenactment of the Battle of Prairie du Chien at the grounds of the West Lawn of the Villa Louis. In 1814, British forces took siege on Americans at Fort Shelby to gain control over the land.
The War of 1812 was declared by the United States against Great Britain for a variety of reasons. But here in the upper Mississippi, the concern was the fur trade.
It was really a 3-day siege over the control of the fur trade, which was really important for the economic area and impact of this part of the region of the United States, and really important here because we're at the confluence of the Wisconsin and Mississippi rivers, and it was all about the control of the fur trade.
The battle began on July 17th in 1814 as American and British forces volleyed fire from cannons and muskets.
Fire! Reload! Fire at will!
Well, we have representatives of the American forces here and representatives of the British force, which was really a combination of Michigan fencibles, residents of Green Bay and Prairie du Chien, and Native Americans.
As the British advanced on foot, they conquer Fort Shelby after American forces surrender. But the British time was short-lived, as they only occupied the land until May of 1815, and the ground where the reenactment takes place parallels to the real battle.
We are on the site of the construction of the U.S. fort and the Battle of Prairie du Chien, and it's really important to remember some of the history of the area.
Reporting from Prairie du Chien, this is W.H.S, News 19.
The Battle of Prairie du Chien was the only one in Wisconsin during the War of 1812, but due to COVID-19, this is the first reenactment the Wisconsin Historical Society has held since the onset of the pandemic.